My name is Coach Haley Eckerman, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on Sportslifetalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Kings and queens go hard. Rise and star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote.
Who got next? Who got next? Who got next? Yeah, SLT Nation. Welcome back to another fire episode of Season 3, Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow. That's right, we're finding rising stars, superstars in our communities who are doing big things and accomplishing big dreams. And today, that big dream go about 6'3" and will put a spike on your head. That's right. We got former national champion with University of Texas, and now she has brightened her career to help mold the futures of others who came behind her. We talking to a real trailblazer, and for the first time, I get to say, go Golden Flashes, Kent State. Welcome one of your very own. We got her, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Haley Eckerman in the building. What's up,
Hello.
Coach? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we living the dream. We living the dream and dreaming about living a little bit of both, Coach. So we super excited to have you on the show. If y'all is this your first time checking us out, if you rocking with us, I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones, the OG, all things Louisiana. Put your L's up, because Mr. Yeet is in the building. I'm riding alongside my brother from another mother, the other side of the logo, the Quiet Storm. Shh. The head coach, KT. Kev, how you feeling today, man?
B. Jones, as a libero of this show, I'm feeling great, B. Jones. Thank you for asking. But, man, let's turn up. We at Kent. This is the first time we've been here, so we got to do it right.
I don't appreciate you getting the libero title. Coach, don't the libero get to wear, like, the different uniforms?
Yeah.
No. What is he? You know what? Who get to do the spiking?
The outside hitter, the middle hitter, like that. The libero is more the defensive person.
Yeah.
All the hitters are more the offensive person.
Okay, B. Jones, I'll let you be the libero since I'm taller. I'll be the outside hitter. It's too late now. Now you cried about it, so you can be it. Go ahead.
You don't look good enough to be the libero. You know what I'm saying? Libero got to come out there and be on offset. You know what I'm saying? They got to wear the off-color jersey. You know what I'm saying? You ain't smooth enough.
So now you just called me ugly in front of the nation. That ain't right, B.
You know what? I digress. Sports Life Talk Nation, check this out. We are back at it again. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. We got to pay the bills before we get to Coach Eckerman's amazing story, because this is one we're going to go overseas. We got something in store special for y'all, so definitely, y'all know when the call won't keep making that noise, buckle up, because this thing is about to be a fast ride. Well, check this out. We need y'all to do us a smooth favor, though. Something it's just small. Won't cost you a penny. We need y'all to do 3 things. On the count of 3, I must count us down. And I need you to first hit that like button. Get this show in the algorithm and get it popping. Bubbling up to the top. Number 2, we need you to smash that subscribe button and become a part of our family. Lock in with us. We got tons of shows to go, and I'm telling y'all, season 4 is gonna be crazy too. We got more superstars lined up. We got more national champions lined up, more coaches, more athletes. This thing is gonna get bigger and better, so we appreciate you becoming a part of our family. And then lastly, sharing is caring. The only way the word can get out on this show is by you. That's right, you hold a major responsibility. First 5 people that come to your head right now, when I count down to 3, I need you to send them this video, because what Coach Eckerman got to say today, they need to hear it, and you know they need to hear it. So on the count of 3, Coach Eckerman, is Kent State gonna rock with us?
Of course, all day, every day.
All right. Hey, let's go. Let's do it like we true to it. Count them down. 3, 2, 1. Boom! Come on. Still hear the things going. Kent State showing up and showing out. Hey, well, check this out. We appreciate you smashing that subscribe button. If you did, Thank you for joining our family. It means a lot to us because around here we don't do fans, we don't do followers, we do family. And leave us a fire emoji in the chat. Let us know you just did that so we can properly reach out to you and give you a high five because ain't nothing like a volleyball celebration. We celebrate after every point when it's in volleyball. You know what I'm saying? That right, Coach Eckerman?
That's right, yes.
All right, here we go. Well, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Sports Life Talk initiation. Coach Eckerman, we going to put you on the hot seat here, but we going to get to know all about you. All right, you ready?
Let's go.
Let's go, KT.
I'm still upset you called me ugly earlier, B. Jones. I'm still stuck on that.
It's in the past.
Well, no, I need to bring to everybody's attention that somebody in your family loves my voice, so I just want to put that.
This dude want to fight. He want to fight tonight, Haley Eckerman. All right, let's go.
All right, Coach, to initiate you into the SLT family, got to give us your top 5 music artists.
5 is tough. I know 3 off top. J. Cole, Wale, and her. Those are my like go-to, like, depending on the mood, that's what I'm going to go off of. Even when I need, like, especially like throwback J. Cole. Wale, like her has been like, I've seen all of them live, and if I know they're going to be in a concert soon that I can go to, like those are like, I'll pay whatever, I'll make sure I can change my schedule. Like, I don't really know if I got 5, but those are my 3 like go-to.
Well, who the other 2? It's got to be 2 answers.
You got to give us 2 more, Coach.
That's the point. We got to put you on the hot seat, Coach. Come on, look at that iPhone. Look at that Android.
I was trying. Well, first off, no Androids over here. I was trying to. It's a mix. Like, it just depends. Like, when I was in, like, my playlist is all over the place. I will say, you know what? I know who else. Janae Aiko.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
She is a go-to for me. It's such a mix. Like, if you asked me what my playlist was back in college, it was like 90s R&B.
So we're going to say her number 5 is just the 90s. That's what we're going to give her.
90s.
Yeah, we just don't go 90s.
What you giving a KT?
Coach, we like to rank everybody's top 5, and the highest you get is 5. But there's no way with a top 5 like that I can give you anything less than 5. B. Jones, I can't give her anything less than 10.
Okay.
Let's give her 15 for that top 5. Now you got all this John B stuck in my head. I don't feel like singing. I can't remember all the words, but goodness.
That They Don't Know is dope too, though.
Oh, with Babyface?
Oh.
Yeah. All right, Coach. So who is your favorite superhero and why?
I would have to say just Wonder Woman. Like, just as a female trying to be literally your Wonder Woman and whatever you're faced with, I think for me is just like the mindset of being a superhero on the female side of things.
All right, Diana Prince, since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
I think the first one that popped in is Man of the Year. And I can't even think of who sings it now. Or who it is by.
Well, just sing it. Sing it for us.
It's like Man of the Year. Man of the Year. Looking like the Man of the Year. Like, that's my goal, is to just, for me, especially coming in like as a newer coach, like, I don't care if I piss people off. Like, I'm going to be me, and if you don't like that, you don't like that. And so I think that's, and it's funny because, like, I don't know if I got it from my head coach, but when we go into a game, I'm not here to have like, oh, let's kicks and giggles right now before the game. If I know you, we can hug it up or whatever or talk after, but like, shake hands and go play. I'm not here to have a conversation with you. And I think that as a female, that comes off to some people as like, oh, she's rude or oh, she's mean. But it's like, no, that's just how I am. Like, I'm here to win. I'm not here to be friends with you right now. Now, after the game, we can be cool. We can kick it. We can whatever. But like right now, it's game time.
We talked about that yesterday, as a matter of fact. B. Jones was going on a rant about all of that. So go back and watch that show. It's Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central. I think it's episode 192. Okay. We honored Fly J. Johnson. So go ahead and check that out. All right, Coach. So we're going to give you a little preview from a game that we're going to play later on. Our version of Would You Rather is going to be championship rounds. But for this question, I want to ask you, would you rather be a singer or a dancer?
I feel like a singer. Mainly because I'm too tall to be out there. Like, if I'm a backup dancer, I don't need to be. I mean, Beyonce's what, 5'2", 5'8"?
She's about 5'8", though. She's a little tall, 5'7", 5'8".
Is she
But
really?
Coach, you'll be clean on
With
this
heels
next
on,
three.
with heels on, is that how tall Beyonce is? Like she probably what 5'5" without heels.
Yeah, she's probably about 5'6". Yeah, 5'5".
Yeah, so like I'm not trying to be like.
But you'll be clean. No, everybody will see you, Coach. Now, hey.
What dance moves look good on short little people? My arms got to take like it's a long way to get there versus their little like quick. So like pop locking is like, dang, it took her 10 seconds to pop lock. Where I think just being a singer, it'd just be easier for me.
Now, B. Jones, when we see her, we got to do the electric slide. Just to see
we
doing it. We just gonna be in the restaurant dancing. All right. So, Coach, do you have a favorite podcast that you listen to?
I just started listening to you guys once I saw Pierre on it. So shout out to her for posting that and putting it on there. And then I think All the Smoke is one that I listen to a lot just because it's like real. It's real life. Like you get to really hear how athletes move, how like their thoughts and their process, like everything through there versus like, you know, you never know when someone's just kind of BSing just to try to be up in the pub and all that. And I think that's one of the shows that is a real show.
Yeah, we aspire to be like them. So shout out to All the Smoke.
What you talking about? They're inspiring to be like us, B. Jones. All right, so if you could shadow anyone for a week and learn from them, they could be either dead or alive. Who would it be and why?
I think it's a mix just kind of based off their mindset. I think there's three people, LeBron, Kobe, and MJ. Like just to try to be in the mindset of Kobe and the dogness of MJ and just like I love the person that LeBron is off the court, like just trying to be that role model and trying to change the world. So I think I could learn from all three of them and different aspects and different eras of how they went through things.
And they trying to dog LeBron because his school, those kids can't pass math. I'm like, do y'all know how hard math is?
Oh, math is a struggle. I think too, but like they also have to understand like that's a low socioeconomic school. So their numbers already aren't going to be high. So what's the standard to what they really need to be at? And are they passing that standard? And are they understanding those things? Because those kids got other things going on. Like I was a behavior coordinator at an elementary school when I coached that high school for that year. And I got kids who are coming to school who their only meals are at school. So when they know a Christmas break coming up, they're cutting up because they know they're not going to get the loving on. They know they're not going to get, they don't know when they're going to get a meal. And so you got kids who, or you got parents who, or teachers who instantly are like, I'm going to call mom or I'm going to call dad. Well, mom might be in jail, dad might be dead. Like you don't know their situation. Teachers aren't paying attention to that. So are we really keying in the factors of those things before we say, well, they're not passing tests? Well, they might be hungry. They might not have known, or, you know, there's all these things that they might not have somebody to go home to, or they're having to be the babysitter when they get home and they can't do their homework. And I don't think that people up there, people that don't look like us, fully understand that unless they're really in those settings.
Coach Eckerman, they didn't know they was going to come in and get that dropped on their head today. Y'all, hey, that was off the script, but I love it. They needed to hear that. Come on, keep serving us.
Yeah,
so, B. Jones, I'm glad you used the word script because that leads me to my next question. B. Jones and I were going to produce a movie centered around you. The one thing that we're missing is a lead actress. Who should we get to play you in the story of your life?
If she could play like she did off Love and Basketball, Sanaa Lathan. I would say, I think Gabrielle Union would be a good one too. If I'm thinking people who are actually actresses, those are my two.
Well,
go ahead, B.
I was gonna say mine. I got two of them. Mine is not an actress. Number one, that's Liz Cabbage. But I had to get somebody.
Cabbage.
I had to get somebody who was tall enough and who had that bright complexion. And y'all kind of favor each other, both beautiful. I think Liz can get it done if we can get past the accent part. Now, the other one, I don't know if you're old enough to see Family Matters. Did you watch Steve Urkel when you was growing up? It was a young lady who was on that show. Her name is Cherie Johnson, and she's still doing her little thing in social media, but Cherie Johnson could probably pull it off. Now, I don't know about the height part of it, but she favors you a lot. So who you got, KT?
Yeah, I know the actress from Everybody Hates Chris, and she's on Ghost 2. Her name is Paige Hurd.
Don't know her.
He was like Chris. I think she played Chris's sister on the show.
Okay. Is
On
she
that show,
tall?
Everybody Hates Chris. No, she's 5'4". That's why I said she got to
Okay.
stand on the table, but she kind of looks like her, B. Jones. So yeah. But either one of those can go because I think we can afford everybody. And like I said on another show, we know
Yeah,
Gabrielle Union, she needs the money because her and D Wade goes half on everything. So
No, let's not do that.
we'll get some money in her pocket. All right, Coach. So this is probably the most important question I'm going to ask you during this initiation. When we come to Kent to check y'all out, we got to get some food. So what's that one food spot that gets your stamp of approval, and what's your go-to meal there?
So I love me my Tex-Mex, like ride or die for Tex-Mex. And so there is I don't really know if it's Mexican, it's some sort of Latin food called Casa Nueva. And everything is bomb. Like it got to the point where we started taking our recruits there. Like they know us by name, like our staff, every time someone's in town, we're like, let's go to Casa. Like they're just food, drinks, everything are just like, it reminds me of a little bit of home just because like the queso and all that sort of stuff, but it's just so authentic that it's like, that's the spot to go to.
What's your meal of choice there, Coach Haley?
I get I think it's the grande burrito or something. Like the food, like the burrito alone is like huge. Like I take half of it home and I'm still eating for like a day or two.
So
and the street corn dip. They got a street corn dip that is like bomb perfect.
We got to go, B. Jones. How are the nachos? I eat nachos when I go everywhere because you can't mess up nachos.
Get you out of there too, KT. We got to try some new
I was
dishes.
I was the same way. I'd be like nachos or quesadillas. And then I started like eating at like Gloria's and all like the other places. I'm like, let me try this chimichanga or let me try this enchilada. And then I was like, okay, I could do this. Like I'm picky, but that's a good way to go outside of like your nachos. And it's basically the same thing, just wrapped in a burrito.
I love chimichangas, especially like Gloria.
Yeah, that chimichanga is my play.
And so that's what the burrito that I basically get is literally like a chimichanga.
Man, we can sit here talking about food all day, but we got to get to your story, Coach. So now is the time for the You Got Next offering. We're passing our collection plates around and asking you to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like this video and leave us your top 5 music artists, your theme song, and your favorite superhero in the comments. And finally, go to our website, sltyougotnext.com, to learn more about us and our other You Got Next family members. Now allow me to turn it over to B as we learn more about our newest family member, Coach Haley Eckerman. So B. Jones, please take it away, brother.
Coach Eck, how you doing today?
I am good. That's funny you say Eck. Like that's what my nickname was in college, was Eck.
I know. I did the research.
Okay. I didn't know if it was out there. That, and then like when I went to Korea, they couldn't say Haley or Eckerman, so it literally was Eck.
Now, I don't know nothing about Korea. I saw a player that called you that or something like that. So we do the research and we try to at least. But Coach Eck, let's take this thing back to the beginning, because Waterloo, Iowa, I don't think we've ever been to Waterloo before. This is our first time ever talking to somebody from Waterloo. So you got to tell us, what was it like for you growing up, and when did you fall in love with the game of volleyball?
Yeah, I mean, there are Black people in Iowa. I know that.
All 7 of y'all?
Nah, there's way more than that. It's but everybody, every time I say Iowa, they're like, Black people? Like, were you born somewhere else? And I'm like, nah, born and raised. Like, that's where I'm from. But yeah, so I started, my mom played volleyball in high school, ended up having a basically life-ending back injury that she couldn't keep playing. So she was my 8th grade coach. So I grew up though, like at the middle school when I was in elementary school, walking up to her practice after and jumping in the gym there. So I started with that, and then started playing club. My first sport was basketball. Like that's everybody's like, oh, you're tall, come play basketball kind of thing. So I started with basketball then and stuck with volleyball, did both until high school. My 8th grade year though is really what set the difference. My club coach was like, look, you need to be playing at a higher level. Our teams that we have at the 15, 16, 17 level aren't helping you get better. We're going to put you on the 18s team. So I was playing against girls who were committed to Texas, committed to Penn State. Like all these girls are already committed. And I think that kind of helped offset my recruiting process, because coaches are like, looking like, okay, who's number 10? Oh, well, she's in 8th grade. Like, okay, let's put her on our radar now. She can compete out here.
Right.
So I think that's where the next step in the journey, like if I can come out and compete against these people, I know I can continue it on to the next level.
Now you said you 6'3". Have you always been the tall girl? Like even back?
Always. Like tall, skinny. Like when I was younger, I was literally like this, but was like always tall. Like had like straight bones, knees was hurting, always in pain, always having tendonitis, like all that. Like always had the big feet, like right away. And so, I mean, I grew 7 inches between 6th and 7th grade, but I still was already tall. Like it wasn't like I looked like the shortest person in school and then out of nowhere grew. Like I always still was a taller person.
Now, Coach, you know, you made the joke talking about people asking you, did you play basketball? But I seen the videos. Hey, you can sky. Coach, now, if I threw a ball to you at that back in the day in your Texas days, could you dunk it?
I could grab rim.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, get up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like you were levitating. You were jumping so high up in the air. I mean, I was scared to death. I was like, my goodness, she could go. Now, so let's talk about that. Because you talk about you were being recruited at a young age. You were 8th graders. Now, all of a sudden, you started to get the emails. You started to get the phone calls at a very young age. Why did you Waterloo to Texas? I mean, come on, Coach. Why'd you choose the University of Texas?
So there's probably 2 main reasons. The first one, I went to another school that I had it narrowed down to 5, like going into my freshman year. I didn't want to be overwhelmed with it. Like all these kids now, they want to post every school that offers them. And I was over it. Like it was just too much for me. And so I had it narrowed down to 2 going into my sophomore year. And I'll never forget that I sat down with the coach and he's like, you know, what's something you look for in a school? And I was head of diversity at that time. Like I chose to go to the school that was on the hood side. Like I didn't want to be, I mean, the school I was supposed to go to was like, if you don't have this product bag, you can't be my friend kind of thing. I didn't want to be a part of that. And so when I went on the visit, I was like, well, diversity is 1. Well, every time I was on a visit, it'd be like, oh, hey, here's the only black wrestler. Hey, here's a black football player. Hey, here's this. So he was like, well, you know, you'd be the first black girl here to play. Like we've had Dominicans, we've had other people, but you'd be the first black girl here. And we would use that. We use that to take you to go to this school and kids that look like you. And in my head, I'm like, just because you came to my high school that's on that's by the train tracks, like I don't know that life. Like I just don't. So how can you assume that? So then I took my visit to Texas and it was a black female assistant coach. There was like 7 or 8 black girls on the team. There was just that pride of Texas that I was like, this is where I want to be at. I want to be at a school that every sport's going to be good. Now, were we great in football and basketball and all them then? Not really. But it still was that like high level to where you like some of my closest like big bros are all pro athletes or retired athletes. That I wanted that connection. Like I wanted to have a support system. I wanted it to go past being those 4 years of me being there.
Now, when you signed that letter of intent, you made that decision to come to Austin, Texas. Did you know you guys had a national championship brewing? Like, did you look around on your business and be like, okay, she coming? Okay, she ranked 2 and she coming? Or like, so did y'all know y'all were forming Megatron when y'all got down there?
Yeah, I mean, that was like the goal for us. So like a lot of us played USA together and we're like, okay, well, I'm going on this visit to Texas too. Like, oh, let's do our visit together. And then it was kind of like all of us committed at the same time. And then it was kind of like the pipeline. But that's kind of what our coach always talked about. Like the people who come before you are the reason why you're here. And so those are the people that, at the time, those were the people that I was wanting to be, you know, the Destiny Hookers and the Bailey Websters, like all those people. And then now I'm that person to those kids. So then it was like, it just continued. So like you said, you have Micaiah White on here a couple years back, Logan Eggleston, Asia O'Neal, like all those people. Those are now my babies that they're looking and you know, and now they're trying to be that same for the next generation coming in.
Hey, shout out to Micaiah. She was on season 1. Micaiah took a chance on us when nobody else was really rocking with her. So shout out to Micaiah. But you know, it's interesting that you talk about the diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's interesting that you talk about Texas being one of the schools that had a head coach or an assistant coach that was African American. And now you, Sierra Jones, y'all kind of got a big responsibility, in my opinion. You know what I mean? How do you like mentally prepare yourself to be this magic, this black girl magic, this queen on this sideline when, like you say, most of the people you go to shake hands with at the end of the game, they're not going to look like you, coach. I mean, is this some pressure in that? And then tell us a little bit about why that means so much to you to be a shining star or a sign of hope, a beacon of hope in this industry or in this game.
Yeah, I think it's tough. It's tough in the coaching world already for the volleyball side, just being a female. Majority of the volleyball coaches are white male. And so to have to already battle that as a female, all of us are like, okay, let's root for everybody kind of thing. But then to be a black female as a black female head coach, I think it puts pressure on, but at the same time, it pushes me to kind of continue on to be better and to make sure that I'm lifting up, whether it's, not necessarily hiring on my staff, but making sure that the circle that I have continues to be able to help other people. So like Sierra, for example, she started like a group me just now with a couple of days ago with all the black girls that we can think of. And so every time a new black coach comes in, we add them. And it's like, hey, I'm going to go get dinner. Or, hey, I'm at this one. Or, I mean, they're like, hey, I got a 2024 middle. Like, does anybody need that? So it's that support group that I think helps us keep going. And to be able to, like, when we are going through stress and through things, like I can call Sierra or like at nationals, I'm like, girl, tell me why this, like, listen to what I had to deal with. And I can kind of be like, am I crazy for thinking that? Or is it this? And so making sure I have that strong support group and then continuing to show that and be those mentors for other people, just like my assistant coach, Salima and Rockwell and Tanya Johnson, who are now Power 5 head coaches, they've done for me.
Do y'all have Carlissa May in that group? She's down here at UTA. Yeah. She
left UTA. She went back to her home.
She's at Arkansas State.
Arkansas, yeah. She went back.
Okay. Well, she's a You Got Next alumni as well. So just shout out to her. Yep. So Coach, now you won a championship. That's one of the most difficult things to do. I actually had the opportunity. I think it was the year Wisconsin won. I don't know how the media made a really big deal. It was like y'all Texas, then it was Penn State, then it was kind of Wisconsin, and now it's Texas again. That's kind of making. I'm talking about like really getting the airwaves. You know what I mean? And so I actually watched it when the year that Wisconsin won and then UT won it. And that tournament is just as difficult as like March Madness. You know what I mean? So it's like y'all got to play a very rigorous lead up to schedule. The only reason I'm asking you this is, how do you implement that or embark that knowledge onto your team? How do you go to Kent State and say, hey, we got to play or we got to perform at a championship pedigree, practice after practice? Like, we got to have a championship spirit in the classroom, championship spirit on our walks. Everything has to be done at that championship level. How do you impart that information or that passion into those kids when you walk into that program?
Yeah, I think for us, like we're kind of like not saying anywhere close to the Big 12 or the Big 10 or the SEC that have tough teams. But our conference, you never know who's going to win it any night. Like, we're kind of that blue collar where it's like we're the quiet conference, but the teams within our conference are tough. And so getting them to understand that, like, when you step foot on this campus, like, it's go time. Like, if you don't want to be here, that's fine. Like, if I'm not the coach for you, that's okay. If this isn't the culture you want. But there are other people that will come and do that. There'll be a walk-on. There'll be a manager. There'll be all this and that to help us get better. But it doesn't stop once you get here. And I think that's what, and it's not just at our university, that's what I've experienced when I've been at Power 5 schools coaching. Like, they feel that, okay, I got the scholarship, cool, I'm done. Like, I don't got to do any work. The wins just come. And they don't understand that that's how you got to keep going to get the wins. Like, I think a lot of the football players probably hated Cat Bell and I because, like, we'd get 5 stars that come in, especially after we won the national championship. They come in and they'd be like, oh, I'm a 5-star and I'm this. And I'm like, you ain't done nothing in the Big 12 yet. Like, until y'all win a natty, like, you can't tell us what. Like, you can't, you're never going to be on that level till you get there. I mean, I even go back to Austin now and the football boys would be like, welcome to my city. And I'm like, until you win something besides like a Fiesta Bowl, like, this ain't never going to be a like, that's just how it was, because it was like, that's the type of person I was. Like, I still am. Like, I'm going to just be real with you. Like, you don't know what it takes to do that until you have to be put in that situation. but don't act like you're up there until you actually do it.
Yeah, UT boys need to hear that too. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking about history. Like we used to fear UT back in the early 2000s. People used to be like UT football was gonna bust your head, and I don't know where that went. So, but I know UT volleyball will go ahead and serve y'all up right. They got rings in that building.
Yep.
We hanging banners over there at UT volleyball. All right, Coach. Now, me and Kevin, you know what? I got to give Kevin credit. We intentionally went after basketball, especially women's basketball. We love telling the story of women's basketball. Now, Kevin, of course, he's this mastermind. He's like, hey, we got to get more into the women's volleyball. I'm loving this era. I'm loving this movement, us telling these stories. But I got to ask you, do you feel like, because basketball kind of got a certain little popularity, the W is doing things, you can see that elevation happening with women's basketball, right? We know that it's going to be something it's something special now, but when we look forward 10 years, we know that the WNBA is even going to be bigger and better and crazier. What about women's volleyball? Do you think more young ladies in that 8th grade area, arena, 7th grade time frame, do you think more young ladies need to consider the sport of volleyball? And why?
I think they're considering it more now. Volleyball is the #1 women's high school sport in the country.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And the amount of girls and teams and clubs that are in every state alone, like Texas alone, like there's a lot of AAU basketball, but there are probably way too many volleyball clubs in Texas. But like you get a team like in Austin, they got like 6 or 7 age groups or 6 or 7 teams per age group. So it's like one of those. But I think the thing that's still stopping us and not allowing us to close that gap to what WNBA is doing is how expensive volleyball is.
Yep.
Because you can get on the AAU basketball team and they're going to have a sponsor. We were kind of talking about this earlier. They're going to have a sponsor that's going to sponsor a shoe deal. They're going to have it taken care of.
Yep.
Like the AAU basketball team that my little brother played on, they didn't pay for travel. They didn't pay for food. They got a stipend. They had a charter bus that took them from Atlanta to Kansas. They were an Under Armour team. So when you have basketball doing that, and also basketball is something that you can go outside and go shoot at a hoop ball by yourself. When you get volleyball, you got to have a net. You got to have someone serve it to you. You got to have someone set to you. You got to have all these things that it's not like, oh, I'm going to just go outside and do it on my own. And that was like when COVID hit, that showed the difference. Like basketball, I can go to the park and be good. Volleyball, I got to have 8, 9 people just to do something. And so I think that's what's continuing to set us apart from the basketball world is that if you're not a top, especially in our culture and in our family base, like a lot of us don't have the budget to do that. And so now, I mean, when I played, it was maybe $300-$400 and then you pay for your travel. Now on a top team, you're paying $3,500, $4,000. And that's not including hotel. That's not including travel. That's not including food. Jeez. And you're going Chicago. You're going like you'll go on a qualifying team and say that. So you got Chicago, you got Philadelphia, you got Spokane, Washington, Atlanta, and Minnesota just in 1 year. And if you're a parent of 4 or 5 kids, you either got to take them with you or hope that someone else can take your daughter or have a babysitter. Like there's so many things that financially go into volleyball. It's kind of like gymnastics and golf. Like the sport we don't succeed in as much and you don't see as many of us in there is because of how much it costs.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, I've seen some mean volleyball games at the family reunion in the back, though. I've seen nets come down, if you know what I mean, Coach. I'm sorry. Yeah, everybody out there who been to a black family reunion with that Walmart net, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hey, it be old and popping back there. All right, Coach.
And doing all underhand
trash. It'd be the worst volleyball ever. Hey, Coach, but we've been talking so much about philosophical and theoretical. We hadn't really talked about the truth of the issue at hand, and that's this Kent State program. So, Coach, for all of the people out there that's watching, whether they're a volleyball fan or not, what are we gonna get to see out of this 2023-24 Kent State volleyball team?
Yeah, so when I took the job last year, I ended up keeping the same team that the other staff have recruited. So we went from 18 players of their staff to now only 4 returners. And so it's a new team. It's my recruits, which at first I was like panic mode. I had 8 kids graduate, so I was only preparing to replace like maybe 5 or 6 kids. To then I have 5 more kids going to the portal. And so for me, at first I was like, man, what am I going to do? But then it was like, you know what? This is my opportunity to get my kids in sooner, not have to slowly weed out kids. So I kind of took that opportunity and kind of ran with it. And we're young. We've got, 2 granny players, as we call them, our COVID kid 5th years. But other than that, we're really young. Like, we've got some transfer kids, but didn't have a ton of playing time where they were at. And so I think for us, just if we can all, and I tell our kids, if we can all get everybody's puzzle piece to mesh together versus trying to jam a puzzle piece in, then we could be really good. But if we kind of go our own ways and you don't want to recreate the shape of your puzzle piece, it's going to be really hard to be successful for us.
Well, Coach, 1 minute. Tell everybody out there that's watching this, all of the young athletes that's checking us out. We got this amazing African-American coach at Kent State. Why do they need to make that trip, Coach? Why do they need to come play for you in the Golden Flashes?
I think for me, you're just going to get real. I'm going to do my best to continue to teach you to get better. My goal isn't to try to change you as an athlete. My goal is to try to figure out how to, continue to better your game to be successful on the court, so that when we go out there, you're prepared and you're continuing to get better in your position specifically, so that you can go be successful and help everybody do their job.
All right. Well, KT, you know what time it is. Coach Haley, are you ready for the Sports Life Talks? Welcome to the championship rounds. All right, Coach, this is a part of the show with KT and I. We're going to do a little sparring. We're going to put the gloves on, and you are now officially going to call all the shots, okay? Have you ever played a game called Would You Rather before?
Yes.
Okay, so the rules are super simple, Coach. Both of us, KT and I, are both going to present a choice to you. Whichever one of those choices you select, that host gains a point. The first host to get 2 points, or the best out of 3 will win this episode's game. And KT just recently shocked the world, and he stole one from me in the last game. So Coach, we got to make this a memorable one. You know what I'm saying? We got to bring that thing back home. All right, let's go. KT, kick us off.
Me and Coach were vibing before you came on.
I was going to say, you was a little late there.
I don't think you want to do that.
I heard y'all.
All right, Coach. Would you rather coach a player that you recruited that no one gave them a chance and they make it to the Volleyball Hall of Fame, and then their speech tells you they wouldn't be there without you, or
would you rather hire a person that's a straight up GA, no coaching experience, but you're developing this coaching tree that leaves your footprint and your legacy going on and on and on. So you basically hire this GA, they become a great coach, and they accredit it all back to Coach Eck, who hired me when nobody else would.
I'm gonna have to go with the coach, the GA coach, because now both I would love to have both, but I think as the coach they can continue to do what I'm doing for other players.
That's what I was trying to see you to see. See, we vibe. I'm telling you, Coach, we here with it. We here with it. All right, round number 2.
Well, Coach, the whole thing that we had at the beginning before he came, you just threw that away just then. Okay,
Look,
I got it.
Before we got to his question, I was like, oh, I already know that's the answer. But then, because that's why I am where I am as a coach, because now I had that coach, but someone gave me the opportunity to be a coach, like the coach that now. So now my goal is to help coaches be that.
Okay, you got round 2 to make it up to me, Coach, but we'll see. Let's go. I don't know, because I'm coming with some pressure on round 2. All right, Coach, I got Netflix filming a documentary. It's got 5 coaches from all over the country. You were one of the coaches selected for that show, and you're going to be part of this Last Chance U style documentary that's about volleyball blowing up in America. Or
travel the world, hosting your own food show on YouTube, where you get to interview other volleyball coaches and pick their brains while eating at their favorite places to eat in the towns that they coach in.
I'm gonna go with the food, and here's why.
Oh no! Come on, Coach.
the volleyball, the Chance U thing, I love the show. I let me take that back. I love the basketball version of it. The football version, to me, I feel like wasn't always authentic in a sense. And so I don't want to be on a show where coaches are like, oh, is that really how it goes in there? Like, where with the basketball one, everybody was like, man, I feel like, as a coach, I'm like, I feel that. But then the football one, I'm like, now you know good and well that's not how it works. And so, like, with the food show, like I love getting when I love food. But it also shows kind of every coach's personality, like, in a sense. So I'm getting to know more about that coach by knowing what they want to eat and all that.
KT, she putting too much thought into the questions, man. She really breaking them down.
I'm glad she thought about that one, because if I didn't win it, I was in trouble. I'm so glad she thought about it.
I'm always real, so I'm gonna give you the real answer, and that's what it always is.
All right.
So round 3 on our show, which you can watch, our live show, which you can watch Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central here on our YouTube channel. We have a segment called The Drop, where B. Jones presents shoes that he feels are worthy of your financial donations. So for round 3, we're both going to present a pair of shoes to Coach, and she gets the final vote. And her vote goes a long way, because whoever she picks wins this episode's game. So, Coach, I'm going to count down from 3, and I need for you to say, hold that sneaker. And B. Jones and I, we're going to show you what we brought today, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hold that sneaker. I'm sorry, B. Jones lost. I'm gonna go with the no Jordan.
Who you going with?
With head coach. My feet look too big. I don't like them.
Oh man.
Those Jordans make my feet look too big. If you would have picked a different pair of Jordans, maybe.
Ain't had no other blue and yellow shoes. I mean,
I appreciate the blue and yellow, but like if you would have picked like some 11s.
We got 11s, but I ain't got no blue and yellow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like for me, them Jordans make my feet look way too big. And so like the same with like 4s. Don't ever pull a pair of 4s out, because it really would have been wrapped in.
4s are my favorite, Coach. We got to wrap. We got to talk some sneaker game, because honestly, I had the 4. What's funny is this was, I was going to do the 4s at first.
No.
God.
B. Jones, you know the game. She chose me and not you. Coach, thank you so much for
I am truly hurt right now, but good thing I won Sierra Jones' episode, though. You know what I'm saying?
We're not talking about Sierra Jones on this episode right now. This is about
So I'm 1-for-1 with black volleyball coaches. So all right, I'm gonna turn this loss into a win somehow, KT. All right, Coach Eck. Here we go. The title of the show, Sports Life Talks. You got next. Everybody's watching you now. We finna turn the game on women's volleyball, and you're gonna be one of the people that's leading the charge. But we gotta know. We talked about the past. We talked about your journey to get here. Talked about championships and the expectations. But now, what does the future hold for you, Coach Haley Eckerman?
You know, I think just continuing to help grow the sport. That was kind of the main focus of like Team Dream that we put together. My nonprofit kind of focuses on shedding light to the lack of diversity, and trying to kind of be on as many like, you know, groups and podcasts and different things, especially in the volleyball world, to help push the diversity side of it. And it's tough in the world now, especially with all these people getting rid of DEI and all that sort of stuff. I think for me, that's my biggest focus. I'm working on my master's right now in sports administration, because I think, as well as there's not as many Black females in the coaching world, it's the same when you get into the administration world. And so like to be someone like the Vanderbilt AD, to be a female Black in this world is already tough, but then to be a Black female, it's already like you're pinpointed in the first thing you do wrong is tough. And so wanting to kind of be able to be that voice in the future.
All right, Coach, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
shout out to my team. I'm gonna make sure they watch this. They'll probably see it once I post it on my social media. I would say the biggest shout out is my mom. I have a 13-year-old that she takes care of, and she's taken care of from day one, basically. When I had him in high school, moved to Texas on my own, and then she moved to Texas with me and him to help take care. And then I went overseas and she had him, and our schedule's so busy that he's such a Nana's boy that he actually lives with her, and then he spends his summers and holiday breaks with me. But that's my biggest shout out for her.
All right, Coach. So this is a part of what's your mother's name, by the way, if you don't mind us asking?
Julia.
Because that takes a lot for somebody to do that. So shout out to her.
Shout out,
yeah. All right, so this is a part of the show where you get a chance to call the person that you think should have next. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. I want you to do the same thing. With that said, Coach, who are you calling out? Who should have next?
I'm going to go with Jazz Johnson. She's the associate head, I think she just got named, Louisiana, Raging Cajun. Played college ball, is doing like big recruiter. She's kind of in that circle that I have of like Sierra and those people. So Jazz, Amber McCray, who's the Louisiana Tech head volleyball coach. She's kind of been the same, where she makes sure her volleyball players and their team, especially during Black History Month, they highlight these people. Those are my two.
And they both just so happen to be in the lovely boot state of Louisiana. Oh, my goodness. So Jazz Johnson and Amber McCray, y'all know we at home, kinfolk. Y'all just got your tickets punched. You're officially on the clock. We got to get you on the show so y'all can come on and tell us y'all story. And plus the producers will tell us we're going to do more volleyball. We're going to be more active in this volleyball community. And we're going to highlight some more of those stories to help these young ladies to keep blossoming and blooming. But Coach Haley Eckerman, you got next. You are a pioneer. You're a trailblazer. You're a lioness. You are amazing. You're exemplary, extraordinary, and elite. You deserve a yeet. Oh my goodness, you iconic in this game. Sports Life Talk Nation, thank y'all for watching another episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next. This was super fun. This was super fun, y'all. I don't know. I feel like I could do some libero. I don't know why. We might have to get some footage at Kent State of me and KT going out there putting a little work in with the team. We might go out there. I don't know. Yeah, y'all stay tuned, lock in with us. But check this out for real. Tap in with us on a whole nother level. We need each and every one of y'all to keep showing us some support. Together we can move mountains, right? Divided we fall, together we stand is what my grandmama used to always say. And we need you to help us to keep growing this show and growing this platform. Go to all one word, any social media site you go to, at Sports Life Talk. Just hit the follow, hit the flags, whatever you got to do to help us to get this thing blowing up in the algorithm. And then lastly, if you're thinking to yourself, like, I would love to be on the show. I got a top 5. I want to tell my superheroes, we got you. Go to our website, sltugotnext.com, and go to our nominate tab. When you go to the nominate tab, just tell us who you are. Tell us why. And we're going to reach out. We're going to give you an audition for the show. All right? It's just that simple. Y'all come rock with your boy. Stop playing with us and start praying with us. 2023, we doing big things. All right, KT, congratulations, man. I don't know what you said behind, so I'll get on my wife later for having me doing some other stuff, but clearly a bond was formed. And so now I got to go find me some allegiance, but don't worry, I got Jazz and Amber coming my way. You heard me? We're going to talk jambalaya and boudin balls and all that stuff. All right, KT.
That's the Dallas girl, so nice try.
Yeah, B. Jones. What you don't know that, Coach, that's my new volleyball BFF now, so you out there bad. I will say this. So we know about the group chat with the volleyball coaches. You said it's at least 35 people in there, right?
Yep.
So we're expecting after this show to have 34 new followers.
34 new.
Yeah. Okay, 34. It's going to be more by then. Whoever's in that group, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. Let's get this movement going. And Coach, thank you so much for rocking with us. Whatever you need from us, please let us know and we got your back.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Hey, 34 more guests is what Kevin trying to say. Hey, Coach.
It's going to be more then. Leave me alone.
Now, Coach, the only thing I got to ask you is, do you still got that spring? You still got that balance, Coach? Can you still spike it down on somebody?
30 hit me real quick.
Coach went to the eye with it. Coach said, look, get the camera.
My shoulder's done for, my ankle. Like, I got 2 assistants for that in practice. They do what they need to do.
That's it. You got dogs up there in Kent State, huh? You got them dogs. Hey, you keep your shooters on deck. Roo, roo, roo. Hey, Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another, because together we are better. And keep dreaming big, because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.
See what's crazy is I knew you had next, cause you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag cause you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Like Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest. Hut in the room, podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom, you are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Like Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next is a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking Sports Life, talking this. Yeah. Sports Life, talking this.